What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, today we are going to be taking a look at Bitcoin and seeing what its price is doing. It's currently hovering over $70,000, leaving many people wondering what is going to happen next. And my goal today is to answer that question for you and at least let you know what to be on the lookout for. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. So looking at Bitcoin here, what we can see is that its price has now made an incredibly important move, okay? Let's break this move down for you. So what we can see here is that Bitcoin's price over the last 24 to 48 hours has now come back up to re-clear its 786 level on this macro Fibonacci zone. You all know that we have been tracking the swing high all the way down to the swing low. This ranges 618 to 786 zone. For the reason we've been doing that, a quick recap, is because the 618 to 786 Fibonacci retracement zone is the zone that's the most likely to reject the price back to the downside. But kind of reversely, if its price is capable of breaking this zone, the door to the upside then opens, in which generally you will get a move that could extend further up to the 1.272 fib extension around 79k or the 1.618 fib extension around 87,000. And so of course, this being such an important and deciding zone, we've been watching it incredibly closely to see what Bitcoin will do. Now, about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago roughly, we saw that Bitcoin's price was actually capable, let's go ahead and actually just delete this for a second. Bitcoin's price was actually capable of breaking the 786 zone before coming back down and retesting some support. Now, after we started to see Bitcoin's price falling here, I said, listen, this does not matter. The fact that it's pulling back now doesn't matter. We got the breakout here, which now opens up the door of opportunity to the upside. And I was under the belief that even if Bitcoin did this, or if Bitcoin did this, or if Bitcoin did this, it wouldn't matter, that eventually we would see some type of move up towards $79,000. And it seems as if that move could be on the way a little bit earlier than even I expected. Now, you guys know we have been doing some buying on Bitcoin around this bottom side support. You guys saw actually over in HG Access on the 30th, I said I just bought some more Bitcoin at $67.7 thousand as it tests support. And of course, that right there, let's see, 67.7K was roughly around here. Oops, let me go get that pulled back up. There we go. It was roughly around right here. And since then, that purchase is up about 4.62%, which is not bad at all, especially for Bitcoin. Now, guys, by the way, don't forget, you can see all of the things that I buy, my financial friend buys, Connor Kinney buys, and multiple other creators, as well as the fact that you can get access to live streams, seminars, exclusive content, market recaps, one of the best degen and alpha callers in the world. You can get alpha plays that have been making the community ridiculous gains. I mean, 34%, 88%, 200%. We saw one of our community members actually hit a 500% gainer not too long ago, 573% from one of Poketo's calls. So go check out HG Access down in the description below. It is the most value-packed crypto server on earth, quite simply. Check out it down in the description below. But anywho, so that's the recap. Okay, that's the recap, and that's how we ended up here. We were buying, we saw this pullback, we knew that the door was still open, so we started doing some accumulating here, and now what we can see is that support is now seemingly holding for Bitcoin to try to retest back to the upside. And so now what I want to do is to tell you what I'm looking out for, what I'm paying attention to, and where I think that this is going. Now, overall, I think that there is a strong possibility that Bitcoin is going to start making its move towards a new all-time high. But what I will say is that opportunity is not, that possibility is not super strong yet until a few things happen. But let me explain why I think it's a possibility before I explain to you the obstacles in the way. Okay, so the first thing is considering the fact that, again, the Fibonacci zone was broken, and generally speaking, that will lead you to break out towards your next 1.272 Fibonacci extension, which in this example was 79,000. That's reason number one. Reason number two, Bitcoin just successfully RS flipped a massive point of support. Okay, what you can see is we had what many people would call to be an inverse head and shoulders here. We had this point of resistance right here. We then broke out and came back down and back tested that previous point of resistance here as support. An RS flip that also aligns with the clearing of a 618 to 786 zone historically is one of the strongest momentum swings to the upside that you can see, generally generating a ton of power that can push this thing towards the upside. Okay, so because of just those two things alone, right, I genuinely believe that we could be looking at a Bitcoin that is getting prepared for another big move. Now, there are a couple other things you can think of, right? Bitcoin did break away from this trend line, come back down and successfully hold support on it. Now looking for a continuation to the upside, pulling this trend line above the 618 zone. So even if it loses support now, it can still find a massive point of support and continue upwards. All of these types of little things are aligning in a sense and seeming like we are getting the momentum necessary for Bitcoin to make this move to the upside. And so because of that, I'm actually not taking profits off of those buys we were doing here towards the bottom side of the zone. I am just going to be leaving them alone. But what I don't want you to do quite yet is get too crazy. What I don't want you to do quite yet is start going crazy on long on leverage, expecting that Bitcoin's price is about to absolutely take off to 79K, because there are still a few obstacles in the way. Okay, there are still a few obstacles in the way. Let me break those down for you. Obstacle number one is the fact that Bitcoin has now put in this trend 2, 3, and 4 right here. Now you can even extend it a little bit upwards if you'd like, somewhere around there. But one way or another, Bitcoin typically is running into resistance around this trend. It's been doing it since March. And until we clearly break this trend, there is no guarantee that Bitcoin is even going to make this move at all. It easily could do this. It easily could do this because if you look at it, we've not set the higher high yet. We have still set a lower high from this one right here, which means we are technically still in a downtrend here. And so because of that, the trend is still in place. We have not broken its level yet. There is still risk that a pull to the downside comes. Now, on top of all of that, what you can also see is let's actually go ahead and delete this macro Fibonacci and let's pull up our micro Fibonacci. Let's go, of course, from this swing high right here down to this swing low here. And what you'll be capable of seeing is, let's go swing high to swing low, is that we are now still sitting right around. We've not even gotten the daily close yet above this micro 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone. And so knowing that there is still a risk that if Bitcoin pulls back to $70.5 thousand on the close today, we are still closing beneath this point of resistance right here, with that trend line being somewhere right there that we just spoke about. And so knowing that Bitcoin is, while it's below 71.2 thousand, while it's below let's honestly call it 71.6 thousand, we're still sitting in a downtrend. We're still sitting below massive resistance, and we have not confirmed the breakout just yet. That's what people need to understand. The breakout is becoming seemingly more likely, but we have not confirmed the breakout yet. And if people start going crazy, if they start leveraging too much, there is a strong likelihood that if those liquidations pull up somewhere right here, that Bitcoin's price does collapse. And so because of that, although I am getting more and more bullish, I'm still not too bullish. I'm still being very cautious, knowing that while we're below this level, we need to realistically clear $72,000 before we can confirm that this breakout has happened, confirm that we cleared through this level, confirm that we broke through that trend line, and then we're in a position in which that moved to 75, 76, 77K. Then that door of opportunity opens up. And so the major point of this video just being, listen, we're making beautiful moves. A lot of beautiful things have happened. We got the RS flip. We cleared the macro 618 to 786. All of these things are great, but let Bitcoin go a little bit further before you get convinced that we're about to rally towards the upside. Because in the grand scheme of things, we still have some resistance sitting directly above us, and it could at any given point force Bitcoin's price to the downside. So I will continue to update you as this does play out. I personally am not buying Bitcoin right now. I'm happy with the purchases that we did down there below. If you do want to see the next time I do buy Bitcoin, the first one to find out will be over in HG Access, over in the creators trade section, in which you can see the trades that I'm doing and many other creators. And you can see the gains alone that are happening here. You could have seen the gains earlier from the winners board. You can see the gains from the community gainers. I mean, it's been absolutely nuts. So make sure that you do go check that out. Let us know what you think down in the description and the comments down below. While you are down there, make sure, of course, that you do like this video so more people see it. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video, and tune in for the next one because I have another video dropping in just a couple hours. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.